This is ELFM Online Radio Station Chicago. Dimensión Latina FM Radio TV. Baja nuestra aplicación a través de tu iPhone o Android. Búscanos como Dímela FM. Búscanos en TuneIn Radio como Dimensión Latina FM y visita nuestra página web dimelafm.com.
¿Qué esperas? Comienza a conducir tu propio show de radio en Dimensión Latina FM y sé parte de nuestra familia. Llámanos al 925-819-2463. Solo música buena.
Y ahora Dimensión Latina FM, tu radio por internet, presenta programación en vivo. Estaremos transmitiendo a través del Facebook Live. ¡Comenzamos!
Dimensión Latina FM, tu radio por internet presenta Alas de Amor. Alas de Amor, un programa con enfoque en los niños y jóvenes para la salud y bienestar de ellos y sus familias, conducido por ELSA PRADO. Bienvenidos.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wings of Love. Today's episode is going to be very special because we have Stephanie Martinez with us today. We just recently saw her production, which was amazing. And she is a Chicago-based choreographer. She takes audiences on dynamic journeys driven by the kinetic energy of her award-winning work spanning 15 plus years. And her creations have been commissioned for companies including Joffrey Ballet. We have Ballet Hispanico, Kansas City Ballet, South Chicago Dance Theater, Dimensions, our cousin, Dimensions Dance Theater, credits at Chicago Shakespeare Theater, the Lyric Opera of Chicago, and the American Repertory Theater. Stephanie, welcome.
Thank you.
To Wings of Love today. I just gotta say that your most recent performance of Mujeres was amazing. It was really, really beautiful. And the thing that I love so much is that as a Latina, you are sticking to your roots. And even the music was very vintage, but very legendary. I believe even in the Mexican theater and the movies that were of the golden era back in the day. So you're bringing us back to our roots, the origins of those times where the music really had a symbolic meaning. Really, it told stories, and when you're telling stories, you were telling the stories of somebody very, very famous for us, right?
Yes, agreed.
Tell us a little bit about your works and what inspired you to do Mujeres. What is it that you thought, this is the time to do Mujeres and to bring it to life?
I think Gabriela Mistral, she is a poet, laureate from Chile, 1889. She was born, and then 1957 she passed away. So she is somebody that has really been a pioneer for women and a pioneer for Latina voices.
Yes.
And I felt that, the voices of women are the faces of all of us still. She is still very current. She's still very relevant. And I had been introduced to her by my grandmother when I was younger.
Really?
I was first introduced to her poems. She wrote children's poems for young girls.
All right.
And said, please, there was a lot of hidden messages for these young women to be very to really think about being more than a beauty queen or more than beautiful, but you really had to use your brain and your thoughts and your education, and to strive to be more than just a beautiful face, but be a woman of substance.
Right.
And so I remember hearing these poems, children's books, and then I thought, maybe I would dive deeper. And I've been following her for 15 years.
Wow.
And really looking into her, and then looking into her poems as a woman and as a creator, and somebody that was forward thinking, and someone that was very interested in the suffering of women and the plights that women have to deal with in society. And sometimes it's done with such strength and wisdom and maturity, and women hold a lot. So her poems they spoke to me, and I wanted to make a work about her and about women in general.
Right. And in every segment that you have in Mujeres, there's a different story.
A different poem.
Right? A different poem.
Yeah, she is every woman. She's la que camina, la otra, the other woman, the anxious woman, the woman that wants to be a ballerina, the sleepless woman, the happy woman, the abandoned woman, the fervent woman. So they're all written in Spanish. So I really had to go back and, deal with, like, what does it mean Spanish to English? And how do I make these sections based off of her experience, but really based off of my experience? I am a woman that has felt all of these things through my lifetime. And I think any woman that she has felt, the different sides of her, the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the aunts, so she feels like she has a power and emotional vulnerability, and she loves community. She is very traditional, but is unconcerned about, she's a selfless woman. And I think a lot of women are very selfless in society in general, very given, especially in the Latin society, the Latina society. And she wrote about sometimes it can make you mad, and these are the locos mujeres. These are her lagar. These are her manifestos. These are her most intimate look at women in their most extremes.
Yeah, because women do go through extremes.
Yes.
And it seems like it's part of our life. We go through these periods of life and stages of life that will carry us, like you said, through all these different facets of these different descriptions that you just provided. One of the things that I just thought about when you were doing the performance was the fact that it was just very captivating, because you have a scene in there, and I have to ask you how you brought it out, because there's a scene where you have these men like in high heels, okay? Yeah. And I want to ask you, tell me about that creativity. Like, what prompted you to do that?
Well, I mean, for me, that was the happy woman section. And I think that, men think putting women in heels may make them happy, or women think, oh, I wear these heels and I'm happy. But really, I feel like it's a neutralizing. Heels can be everybody. It's not just women, it could be men. If you put these things on, it changes you. It makes you feel different when you put a heel on. And it's just about, I felt like putting a high heel on feels like a neutralization of all of us. And it felt like I needed to open it up to everybody, not just women, but the community of like, what makes you feel good when you're dressing up or when you're out on the town. So that was really the kind of the inspiration for it. But it's not fetish, it's not drag, it's nothing. It just feels like a neutralization of all of us. This is what we do. Some of us wear them, some of us are better in them, but we just wear them as part of like society. They're everywhere, so I wanted it to feel very current and now and very 2026. And also,
and that there's more openness, right, about just overall everything. There's much more of a lighter tone to life, I guess. It's light. It felt like a light section. It felt like something that we could all, enjoy the music and just the stylized part of it. I felt like, because it was so set in a time frame. In the 1940s, it was the suitcases, and I needed something to kind of jet us back into being in the here and the now. Right?
Transporting.
It felt very transporting, like,
Yes. So it felt very, important to bring that genderless, engendered kind of vibration around that section, where nobody was in drag, it was us, not men or women, but us as a
non-binary, as they say nowadays.
Yes, non-binary.
So,
and I felt like it was because you couldn't see the faces, but you could just see the bodies moving, and we all had these jackets, suit jackets on. So it I don't know, there was kind of a Prince 80s vibe going on.
It did. It had a lot of the 80s vibe in it, which I love, being an 80s child. Of course I enjoyed that.
Yes.
But how do you feel about, like, once it's done? Because I know that there's so much in the making. How do you feel once it's done and you actually get to see the final product?
Oh, once I'm done.
I know it's your baby. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I think I feel a sense of definite accomplishment, not just for me, but for the team, for the dancers, for the production, for my creative team. I feel a bit of an exhale of, we spent a lot of time kind of making it, and now we put it out into the world. I feel very proud of this work. I feel like it's a work that's never been made. I feel like I'm not replicating anything that someone's made before. It's brand new. It's brand new. It's a new song.
A fresh take.
It's a new movie. It's nothing that's ever been made. And I think, as far as creation goes, that is a form of true creation, is making something that doesn't exist.
Right. It's not adapted from some story.
No, not at all.
Very unique. Very unique.
And for, through the Latina lens of my eyes, of my soul, of my heritage, of our heritage, I think it's really important to tell stories through women lenses, because
Definitely.
When the story is through a woman's eyes, the story is different. And especially through a Latina lens, it is just a different story and a different point of view. And it's very, very needed in society right now.
I think that it's just wonderful that you can bring this out, especially right now where we're living in a time where the administration is going so white supremacy.
Yes, agreed.
I think
Agreed.
it's, you know what I mean? It's just wonderful that you could come out and bash it that way.
Well, I also
With
think
beautiful
that,
music and beautiful dancing. And, you know, it just takes your mind to a different dimension all around.
yeah, and I think it's needed, and, you know, for our ancestors and the people that came before us to keep sharing the stories, their footprint, their landscape is our job, you know, to continue.
Well, we
carrying
have to
that
leave
on.
something for the next generation.
100%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You have to pass it on to this next generation. How do you feel about, you know, youth that want to get into this, that want to do this line of work?
I mean, it's not easy. I will say it's not easy, but I think if you are a creative person that likes to make things and to create, then there's many different avenues. I mean, there's, you know, of course, the dancing part, there's the choreography, there's the dancing part, but there's also behind the scenes, there's also, you know, music and set design and composition. And so I would say that to anybody that's young that loves to make things, and it can be in fashion, it doesn't have to be in dance. It can be in writing, in fashion, in music, in furniture design, whatever it is. If you feel that that's your calling, then listen to that voice inside of you, because it will only get stronger if you find a place to nurture it.
Exactly. Yeah, very, very true. Where do you see yourself in the next few years?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm going to continue to make work. I'm going to continue to grow Patamar. I'm going to continue to make ballets about stories that I feel that are important and that are relevant still, and that are told through, again, a women's tongue. But I'm not stopping anytime soon. You know, we need to continue to persevere and be brave and share these stories and share what's important, because somebody's going to identify with them and want to care about them.
Right. And relate in one of the many facets that you presented, you know? There's going to be a lot of things that are very relatable.
I think so. I hope so. But I feel like my job is to, at my age, to tell the stories, the life that I've lived and the people that have come before me, so that somebody else can hear it and know that it's possible. Because if they don't see somebody that's telling these stories, a Latina, they don't know it's possible that they can do it. You have to see somebody come before you. Right.
And I just love the way you go full force with everything, because right now there's I don't know, I think it's what I see right now is like some level of like being timid and maybe not fully being like open to certain things right now because of the climate in our world right now.
Yeah, I've never really cared about such a thing. I mean, I grew up in El Paso, Texas, on the border. I mean, there's always something to be afraid of. Right. And not that I'm not concerned. I always am concerned for the greater good of all of us. But I think an artist's job is to, go against what we know.
Grain, right?
Go against the grain, but also go against what we know is not right.
Right.
And kind of fight that power that's only on for these type of people. I think that's our job, to continue to tell stories and to bear witness to having, the world we want to live in. We have to create it and share and be present and be brave.
As a woman, what area do you know that as a woman you feel like it's really important that we overcome, where we do have to really be brave?
I think sticking up for people that don't have visibility or don't have access to certain things. I think showing up for them and in any way that you can to help people less fortunate, to help people that don't have access to platforms and
Right.
stuff like that. I think that's our job as a woman, but also mentoring other young women to be able to hopefully someday talk about their art, talk about their, things that are important to them. I think that we nurture the younger ones to be able to feel like they can speak about what's important to them.
Exactly. And you're giving them a voice essentially when you do stuff like this. Even if it's in a performance, you're still giving women a voice.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
women that came to the show see that it's possible to, this is possible,
It sure is. And you made it happen and you showed it, you know what I mean? When it's all said and done, you've really shown what you're capable of, to put that together. It's just absolutely amazing. And how everything was so synchronized. That was amazing too.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes. So what are the upcoming programs or shows that people can come see? Will
Well,
you guys
right,
be
right
somewhere?
now we will be at Navy Pier in the fall, September 20th. Social by Brian Arias. So they can come. It's a free show. They can just come to Navy Pier, and there's like a weekend of free shows, but Patamar will be one of the companies, so they can come see that. We might be doing something with Chicago Humanities, but I'm not sure what the dates are. So we have things in the pipeline. We're
Right.
kind of recovering, but I will keep you updated on any new, shows or offerings that we have coming up soon.
Yes, fantastic. That way, we could keep our public informed, and so they can come and see, your beautiful work. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
One of the things that also struck me is that what message are you sending men when you do this?
Well, I'm hoping that I'm sending a message that, we're all on the same. We're on the same page. I mean, women and men, I see us both as equal, not this, that, or the other. Like for me, I think if there's any message that you're welcome and that you're included, and I hope you enjoy, what you're watching, because, we all have to live on this planet together and, cohabitate together. And that women are essential, they're vital, they're important, and that we have, a lot of love, a lot of compassion, and I don't see us in a competition at all. I see us as cohabitating together in the best possible way.
And harmony is what
And
I like to
harmony,
think, right?
and harmony. Absolutely.
Keeping it in that way, where we're all kind of like we can be happy together, versus a lot of the way it was portrayed back in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
yes, I think, that story, there are certain roles that, and they exist today, but they're both important and they're both vital to, not one is more important to the other, in my opinion.
Exactly. I agree. That's so true. In like in the upcoming, projects, or what are you gonna try to bring?
I mean,
I'm assuming you already have something in mind that you're.
I do, but
like,
I'm not.
You
gonna,
have something that's already creating in there.
I haven't announced it yet, but we have something that we're doing next season. But I will keep you posted on that. It's
Awesome.
It's a little bit of a. It has a little bit to do with mujeres, but it's the next phase of it.
Oh, okay, perfect. So there's
Yes.
almost a sequel to it.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Okay, cool. So we have more to come, which is great.
More to come.
More to come.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you want to add or tell us about what you're working on?
No, I mean, I think I've covered it, but I'm very excited to be on here, and thank you so much for having me and being a part of Padamar's, audience and just championing us. And I look forward to continuing to share the work and keep you updated on what we're doing.
Right. And I love to know that us Latinas were empowering each other as we, are uplifting one another, whether it be through these means, through media and through dancing and the arts and everything. I just think that, that women's empowerment is very important.
I agree. We have to help one another and lift each other up and just be there and share. I think sharing information and championing one another is really, I think it's key.
I agree. Well, in closing, what would you like to say? I know that you already mentioned about the upcoming program in October.
I want to say to everybody that's
Are you
listening,
doing any classes or anything that our audience might be interested in doing?
no classes right now.
Okay.
Just working on production stuff.
Okay.
But just take care of one another.
Exactly.
That's
Always
what I'll
take
leave
care
it
of one another. Thank you so much for being with us today and for taking your time out of your busy day to be on Wings of Love and, telling us, what you have already shared with us. And it's always amazing to continue sharing, this creativity, the growth, the development of another one of your creations. It's going to be amazing, I'm sure. And I hope that you have more, more viewings of it so more people can come and see your work.
Thank you so much. Really
That's
appreciate
absolutely
being on here.
fantastic.
And thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, everybody have a great night. I hope that you have enjoyed Stephanie's interview because truly there's a whole lot behind all her work that you probably haven't had a chance to see if some of you have not been able to come and see her performances. They're amazing. So hopefully you'll come out in October to check everything out and also experience just a whole new different dimension of dance with her.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Till next time. Thank you, Stephanie. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
aquí llegamos con nuestra programación en vivo. Gracias por tu sintonía. Gracias por tu sintonía.